Alright, Pat, Chapter 12, Section 8, Pipe Welding. Alright, pipe operating conditions handling oil, gas, water, other substantial range with a high vacuum pressure, several thousand pounds per square inch. Mechanical joints not satisfactory for many of these. Surface electrical arc of the oxy-settling welding provide the efficient effective joints, and surface also reduce the weight and increase the strength of low-cost pipe insulation. Preparation of the weld pipe bevel. The manufactured pipe weld is usually supplied with a single V bevel at 32.5 degrees within 1/16 of an inch root face. For the pipe thickness up to 3/4 inch. Signal of the U groove with the heavier pipe. If the pipe has not been previously properly beveled, it has been cut into the field and must be properly beveled prior to welding. Cutting the pipe with the operation necessary for the blending of the pipe must be cut with the shoe with a specific length with the requirement that the ensure the leak proof. The welded joint of the pipe must be cut true circle in a plain perpendicular center line of the pipe. This may be accomplished by using strip heavy paper with cardboard, leather, belting, sheet, gasket material with straight edge with the longer than circumference of the pipe to be welded. Material is warped around the pipe, overlap of the pipe marked along with the edge of the material with a soapstone pencil of the pipe wall thickness exceeding 1/8 of an inch should be cut with the first straight with the cut, then bevel the hand towards 30 to 35 degree angle, leaving a shoulder approximately 1/8 of an inch. Cleaning the pipe after bevel to remove all the dirt and the dust, dirt and scale and the other foreign material from the outside of the pipe at the vicinity of the weld with the file wire brush for the grinding of the disc. Other type of abrasion for the bevels are made of the oxyacetylene cord. The cutting with the oxide form. Oxide form must be entirely removed the inside of the pipe at the vicinity of the weld, unless may be cleaned with a boiler tube, but then fluid cleaning of the by sandblasting, sampling of the hammer, air blasting, followed by any of the other suitable methods depending on the inside of the diameter of the pipe. The care must be taken to clean out the scar face thoroughly. Alright, aligning the joint and the pipe line up cleanup should be use the angle of the securely hold of the pipe before tacking the welding special tool with the separate pipe ends may be made from an automobile spring leaf. The spacing of oxyacetylene welding should be approximately 1/8 of an inch from the arc weld of the space, depending on the size of the electrode used for the root pass. If the pipeline clamp is not available, the pipe section must also be sent into the jig with the center line with the coincide the spacing of the pipe ends in the uniform piping prior to tacking welding an angle iron as the serve of the jig for a small diameter pipe of the section with the channel the I-beam satisfactory large pipe. Angle iron serving a jig with a small diameter pipe. When back ringing is jig with the desired weld of the backing with the spacing should not be less than the diameter of the electrodes used for the root pass. When welding the back rigging of the not desired of the spacing should be not exceed 1/2 of the electrode diameter varies with the diameter and 0 depending on whether small or large angle of the bevel is used. Alright, back rings and tack welding. Purchase the back ring with the make possible the complete penetration of the weld of the metal with the inside of the pipe with the except for the burning through the preventing spattered metal with the slag from the entering of the pipe at the joint and to the prevent formation of the projections, other irregularly shaped and formation of the metal on the inside of the joint of the back ring of the aid normally with the screwing properly with the line of the pipe end for the use of the instead of during the assembly of the joint of the back ring do not use when the pipe surface requires a completely smooth inner pipe surface with a uniform internal diameter. There are several types of backing rings. The plain flat strip roll with the fit inside of the joint with the forged pass type, with or without the projection with circumferential rib with space of the pipe ends the proper distance at the end of the machine ring. Also show the maybe continuously split ring and several base back rings are shown in figure 1235. All dimensions are shown in the inches, and it shows the your split ring, solid ring, internal ring. Our back rings should be made from the metals readily be weldable. Those when welded steel with usually low carbon steel. When the pipe ends with the properly aligned with the forward tack with the welds should be made. They should be 1/2 the thickness of the pipe, equal to space around the pipe. 1243 making template pattern. General the template pattern is useful with the cutting of the pipe with a 90-degree bend with the other type of the joints of such as the T-joint material. The material necessary for the making of the template pattern consists of the ruler, straight edge, compass angle with a piece of heavy paper and a pencil. The preparation of the template information contained in table 12 with the helpful of preparing a template. Layout with the joint with the full actual side of the outside diameter of the pipe with the table 12.6 with the column of the representative of the pipeline figure 1236 of the page 1258. Inscribe the circle with a small diameter divided into the correct number of the equal parts of column 3, number of each of the beginning with 0. And then extend each point of the circumference of the circumferential circle with the line AA. Number each intersection corresponding with the pipe points of the circle. Now draw BB as shown 3 inches of the corner of the pipe. And next the layout of the constant current, the layout CC representing the circumference of the circle determined by the table 12.6 with the column 4. Draw the line in the same number of the equal parts of the circle. Each division, draw a line perpendicular with the CC beginning left, the number to each of the drawing divisions starting at 0. Starting at 0, lay out the vertical line length of the B to O, B to 0 with line 1, of the lay out the length of the B to 1, on line B to on line 2, B to 2, and set forth and join extremity of these line with the result of the curve of the AA corresponding with the line A of the figure 12 to 36. Cutting up pattern along edges CA, AC, and CC with the pattern around the pipe make the pipe soapstone read along with the line A. These cutting edges, cutting the piece of the pipe on line AA, fitting together with the result of the 90-degree with which reach. If there's no further trimming after cleaning of the beveling pipe, then may be welded. And then T-joint figure 1239 can be made by approving by the above procedure shown figure 1240, page 1260, resulting temperature pattern page figure 1241, 1260, and the cutting of the wrap around the outlet of the T. A circle will be inscribed on the outlet of the cut. The next of the pattern is placed on the run of the outline marked cut. After cleaning and the beveling, the pipe may be welded. So 1240 shows your tack template pattern. And then it goes to your template T-joint second step. Alright, proper welding process. Generally, the most commonly used for the process of the joint pipeline with the manual joining pipe over the manual oxy-settling process, the manual shield metal arc welding process, automatic, semi-automatic submerged inert gas metal arc welding, automatic cartridge are also used, particularly in shop operation. Manual shield metal arc welding process may be used to weld all metals using the piping system, whereas manual oxy-settling welding generally limited small-sized pipe of the welding operation where the clearance around the title joints are smaller. Equipment required for the oxy-settling process is also much less expensive and portable than the required shielded metal arc welder process. Shielded metal arc weld process can be used to weld pipe. The material as in such aluminum, magnesium, high chromium, nickel alloys that are difficult to do with the weld. The other process for the shielded metal arc welding, number of the passes required for the welding periods. Metal pipe vary with the pipe thickness, weld with the position, side of the electrode with the welding current used. The number of the passes required for the welding, low alloy, low carbon steel pipe depends on the thickness of the pipe, welding position, side of the electrode current. In general, approximately one pass of each for the 1/8 of the pipe thickness. Welding of the horizontal roll position, number of the layers usually increase with 25 to 30%. Smaller electrodes are usually lessened with a high heat concentration to ensure the complete grain refinement of the weld metal. The electrodes used vary from 1/8 to 5/32 inch diameter. First pass 5/32 inch diameter. Intermediate pass up to 3/16 of an inch on the top pass and reinforcement. Manual oxy-acetylene welding, number of the passes required for the pipe welding. Oxy-acetylene flame depends on the thickness of the pipe, the position of the pipe, the size of the welding rod. Usually the thickness of the deposit and layer with a somewhat more than deposit shielded metal arc process. Direction of the weld. Manual shield metal arc welding is as much possible done with a flat and downhand position suitable for power driven equipment of the rotating pipe with the speed consistent with the speed of the welding. When pipe is in the fixed horizontal position, usually made with the bottom upward, with the medium thickness of the welding is done downward. More material is deposited with the welding upward with the complete grain refinement is easier and achieved with the welding downward reach with a higher degree of the manual skill. When pipe is in fixed vertical position, composite deposit with the filler metal in series overlapping stringers with using 1/8 of an inch of the maximum electrodes, allowing 25 to 30 beads per square inch of the welding area. When welding oxy-settling process with direction welding as described above will generally apply with the backhand welding is used with welding downward, and forehand welding is used when welding upward. Our pipe welding procedure: horizontal pipe weld, pipe rolled weld. Align with the joint of the tack weld, hold the position steel bridge, clamp with the pipe down with a suitable roller. Start with the welding at point C, figure 1244, 1266, 1262, progressing up to a point B. When the point B reaches, rotate the pipe clockwise until the stopping point is at point C. Then again, welding upward to the point B. The pipe has been then rotated should be held in between B and C of the pipe that rotated past it. The position of the torch over the figure 1242 is similar with the vertical weld. The A as B position approach is similar to nearly flat position angle. The application of the torch rod with the altered slightly to compensate with this change. The weld is stopped joining just before the starting point of the small opening remains the starting point of the reheated so that the area surrounding the junction is uniform temperature. This will ensure the complete fusion and advanced welding of the starting point. This side wall of the pipe is more than 1/4 inch thickness of the multiple pass welds should be made. Your horizontal pipe fixed weld, fixed pipe position weld, the after tack welding pipe is set up with the tack welds orientated approximately shown figure 1243. After welding has started, the pipe is now moved in any direction. Alright, when welding, horizontal fixed flat position, the pipe is welding in the 4 step, starting at the bottom of the 6 o'clock position, upward to the 3 o'clock position, starting back at the bottom, well, upward at 9 o'clock position, start back at the 3 o'clock position, weld at the top, start back at the 9 o'clock position, weld upward to the top, overlapping the bead. When welding downward, the weld is made of the 2 stages, starting at the top of the working down one side of the bottom, and then returning to the top of the work down onto the other side of the joint previously welded at the bottom. Welding downward method, particular effect of the arc welding, since high temperature electric arc makes the use of the greater welding speed possible. The arc welding speed and approximately 3 times the upward welding method. Welding backhand method used for joints and low carbon, low alloy steel piping can be rolled at a horizontal position. 1 pass with the wall thickness not exceeding 3/8 of an inch. 2 pass with the wall thickness 3/8 to 5/8 of an inch. 3 pass with the wall thickness 5/8 to 7/8 of an inch. 4 for wall thickness 7/8 to 1 1/8 of an inch thick. One vertical pipe fixed position, pipe position where the joint with the horizontal bonus frequently welded the backhand method, figure 420 1245, page 1264. Weld is started intact and carried continuously around the pipe. Vertical pipe fixed position backhand weld. Multiple pass arc welding. Root beads line up, clean up. The root bead is and start with the bottom of the groove with the wool clamp in the position. No backing ringing is used. Take care of the back of the slightly bent side of the pipe of the backing ring and use the root bead. Must be carefully fused into it, and much of the root bead of the bars line up. Clean up with the permanent should be applied before the clamp is removed. Clean the bead after the clamp is removed, and ensure the deposition of the root and filler on the finished welds. Bead. Alright, your filler beads, ensure the filler beads are fused into the root bead in order to remove the undercut and using the deposition root with 1 or more filler beads around the pipe. We usually required finished bead. The finished beads were applied over the filler beads, complete with the joint, usually with the weave above the 5/8 of an inch wide, approximately 1/16 of an inch over the outside surface of the pipe. When complete, the finished weld is shown D. Section 9, weld cast iron, cast steels, carbon steels, and forgings.